Hi everybody, Scott here. I want to talk today about another challenge that INFJs can have, and also a challenge that people can have who have INFJs in their lives. And I wasn't sure whether to title this video INFJs are so normal it's weird, or INFJs are so simple it's complicated. But there's this sort of phenomenon, if you like, that others see INFJs as overly complicated, complex people that are hard to understand and get, and all of these sorts of things. Yet the INFJ considers themselves, for the most part, normal, like very normal, like like sound, and that there just seems to be this conundrum that INFJs can have, that their own self-understanding is that there is a soundness to them and to what they see and think and understand and so on. Yet it never seems to come across that way to the people in their lives. It's like there's a wondering, why is my normalness not being received? Why do people think I'm so complicated? And there is a sense that a lot of the complicatedness, if that's even the right word to use, maybe it's the better word to use is complexity. It all, for the most part, goes on the inside. And what comes out, there's always an attempt for what comes out of the INFJ to be truth, to be true, to be helpful, and things like this. The challenge for the INFJ is that like the way it's received, or how people, maybe let me say it a different way, like it can sometimes be like a timing thing, or like something is said, or an idea is put forward, or an insight is provided, either at a time or in a way that is difficult for people to grab onto, and so it can sort of be easily dismissed, or not understood, and so it can fall flat, or people aren't able to fully understand where the INFJ is coming from. But for the INFJ, they often feel like the most normal person in the room. In some respects, it's like turning this whole INFJs are aliens and all of this sort of thing upside down. That INFJs feel like the most normal person in amongst others that are complicated. Basically, they often can see other people as complicated, but they don't know that they are, whereas the INFJ knows that they're complicated. And so for them, because they are aware of their complexity or complicatedness, I say complicated in a positive way, that they're able to make sense of a lot of things that that either don't make sense or are hard to make sense of. And so whereas there's a sense that other people are complicated, but they're not aware of that complication, or not as in touch with what's going on within them, and INFJs pick up on that, creating this sense, others are complicated, I am simple. But simple in the sense that the INFJ feels normal in amongst the other people. And so I think on the flip side of it, others see INFJs as complicated because what they say and how they say it and when they say it and all of that seems to come out at what appears to be like incongruent times. It's like sharing the end of the story before others have seen the middle of the story. So it's like they're not ready to hear it. We're not up to that point yet, this sort of thing. And so for other people, INFJs can come across as complicated due to those factors. And other people are like, why can't, not necessarily like this, but it's kind of like, why can't you be normal and straightforward like the rest of us, or like we are? Where are you coming from? Of course, this is not the way all INFJs are or perceive themselves, and not all others are like that. But I think there is a dynamic here, or just a dynamic worth looking at and just understanding from this the perspective in which I'm delivering it. So others have a sense of they're normal and simple in the sense of straightforward, and see INFJs as potentially weird or complicated, complex, and that's, I guess, some of the challenges that INFJs and maybe other people that don't fit the personality type, but may be operating from a place within themselves that others don't get, which comes across in a similar kind of apparent disconnect. So anyway, I hope you find the video helpful. Appreciate your comments and liking the video if you found it helpful. And just to let you know that I am a counsellor and an MBTI practitioner, and if you're interested in those services, please check out my website and feel free to send me an email, and I'll see you again in another video.